Gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Welcome to the Hollywood Casino Press Box with your host, Frank Cusumano.
Here's the pitch. Line drive, there it is! Into left field! Hit number 3,000! A run is scored! Musial ran first! On his way to second with a double!
The best interviews and the most informed insight.
McGaffey breaking free, has a seam and a crease. The kicker can't trip him up. Headed for the end zone. Will it be back-to-back weeks? Yes!
All tied together with the experience of over 20 years of local broadcasting excellence in St. Louis.
Now Stasny gets away from a check to Fabry. Wide open. Oh, Brower! Rebound! He scores! Driver! The former Blackhawk has given the Blues a 3-2 lead.
Now, here is Frank Cusumano on 590 The Fan, 105.7 HD2 FM, and InsideSTL.com.
Good morning and welcome. We are broadcasting live from the Budweiser Brewhouse at Ballpark Village. I'm getting a little feedback, so I'm kind of hearing what I'm saying right afterwards, but we can live with that. It happens in television all the time. We're thrilled to be here because today is going to be the big Indy 500, the Bommarito 500 press conference. Now it's starting to bother me. All right, Kenny Rice is going to join us at 10:30 today. He is a longtime UFC announcer, and he has seen some of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. He will break down the most lucrative fight of all time. There we go. Thank you. That's corrected. Very nice. At 11:30, we're going to be joined by the former Mizzou football player who's now the vice president of IndyCar competition, Jeff Fry. He'll join us. And then at 11:30, we're going to be joined by one of the best drivers on the IndyCar circuit, Graham Rahal. He'll be competing on Saturday. He's won 6 times. He's married also to Courtney Force, the lovely, outstanding drag racer. And then, of course, his father, Bobby Rahal, won 24 times, including the 1982 Indy 500. Graham also... Listener line, 855-282-8255. The Lion's Choice text line, that same number, 855-282-8255. Our opening monologue is brought to you by Gateway Motorsports Park, the site of the Bommarito 500. Let's begin with lap 1. Well, I went to Busch Stadium last night, and with each and every magical inning, each and every K, I had one thought. And I bet some of you had the same thought. Why have we waited so long? Why does this talented starting pitcher only have 3 starts in 2017? With a staff where 2 guys are either injured or ineffective. I mean, were the Cardinals wasting that arm in Memphis? You know, I like the city of Memphis. I love the Rendezvous Barbecue. I love Beale Street. I could care less about the Memphis Redbirds. I could care freaking less about the Memphis Redbirds. I don't care if they win 120 games. I don't care. It means nothing. This is what I care about, St. Louis, Missouri. This is where your 13 best arms should be, in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, I applaud the Cardinals for giving him the start last night, but weren't you like me last night, thinking, are you kidding me? Where's this guy been? And remember, his last outing was brilliant, too. I mean, what does it matter if Luke Weaver would have given you, how things could have been different if Luke Weaver would have gotten an opportunity earlier, to win games over the last 3 weeks. Every game counts. I heard Charlie talking about it yesterday. Just every game matters. The lead is just 4.5. It's not that big. So let's go back now and hear the greatness of Luke Weaver.
And the 3-2 pitch. Got him with a changeup. And the 1-2, the changeup, and he struck him out.
Weaver goes into the windup, pitch on the way, swing and a miss.
Struck him out. Strikeout.
Weaver fired and a swing and a miss.
And a strikeout. Struck him out. Fastball, and he struck him out. 10 strikeouts tonight.
Nice job. by John Seymour there, kind of doing it at a little MLB.com-ish with the audio. A little radio, a little TV. Mike Claiborne does a nice job with Mike Shannon on the broadcast, too. Brian, by the way, is with me. We're broadcasting live from beautiful Ballpark Village, where we're going to have lots of entertaining guests today. So then after the game, Mike Matheny was asked about the man of the hour, Luke Weaver.
He was great. Had a good fastball that ran a little deep counts early. The first inning was really the only one that looked like he was pulling outside the edges, trying to find that rhythm. But then he found it. Thought the changeup was very good, breaking ball. He had everything, and then he was able to raise the eye level. He was able to make real nice fastball pitches late in the count. Just it was an impressive start.
I'm not saying that Luke Weaver is a young Tim Lincecum or Tim Hudson, but it is the same body type. And let's face it, folks, short, what I mean by short compared to the towering pitchers we have now, but like guys like 6 feet and under that are right-handed, short right-handed pitchers are like talented white basketball players. You're really not quite certain because there's not many of them. You almost need to watch them more because they're just not around. Oh, he's only 5'11" and right-handed? No. I don't think he can do it. We got to watch him. You have to prove yourself more. You're just not quite certain. And we're not quite certain of Weaver either. It is only just 2 great Major League starts this year, but his work in Memphis was marvelous too. What I loved most about last night was his fastball at crucial times to get out of innings. I mean, when he had to throw the ball 96 miles an hour, this guy threw the ball 96 miles an hour. When he needed to throw a fastball 93, he threw it 93. If he's not traded, and this is not an aberration, book him in the rotation next year at the Major League minimum. They'll need the rest of that money to sign my man Lance Lynn. How about this, too? Luke Weaver was the 7th rookie pitcher to record 10 Ks in a game this season. 10 Ks and 1 walk. What a performance by Luke Weaver. Lap 2. You've heard the expression, that person is a beard, like a disguise. Maybe someone who is gay is seen with someone from the opposite sex, often just for appearances. I'm wondering if this surge in offense is a beard for the Cardinals' overall offensive attack and moving forward. I mean, you could be optimistic for a moment. Hey, your best player is your left fielder, and that guy's hungry. Your center fielder is now a middle-of-the-order legitimate hitter. Jed just hits at third. Your shortstop has hit like Robin Yount for 3 months. Your second baseman looks like he's going to be a star, and he's hitting .314. Your catcher may hit 20 home runs. And Matt Carpenter, despite the woes, still gets on base with the best of them. Right field, well, you got options. Piscotty has tools. Grichuk has power. Martinez has stats. Bader's out there, too, in the future. But no. Folks, it's a beard. You will likely be playoffless for 2 consecutive years, and maybe just a .500 team. Gotta get the bat. Gotta get the bat. Let's hear from Derek Gould now on the topic.
Piscotty from here on out, or from Pham from here on out, or Dexter Fowler from here on out. And Dexter Fowler has been fantastic since returning from the DL. A lot of life in his game. Has one of the best batting averages this month and has been a key component of driving this offense. But whatever they've offered, that lineup looks better with another one of them. That's the argument. And yes, pitching always needs to be there. Depth always needs to be there. And certainly the Cardinals' pitching depth is tested now, and their consistency is being tested now. But the one thing that this team has been able to produce out of its minor league system is help for the pitching staff. The one thing they have been unable to produce is an impact middle-of-the-order bat.
Well stated by Derek Gould. How do you feel about that? That offense has been really good for a couple months. They got emerging players. Players are going to probably even get better. what would you do? Lap 3. Gateway Motorsports Park opening monologue. Okay, yesterday I told the story about being hesitant to book a flight to Boston the final weekend of the baseball regular season. I mean, there's a chance those games with the Brewers could be huge. You play 162 games, and it could come down to the final 2 whether you get into the playoffs. How big could that be? Then Tuesday night, the team was pummeled by the Padres, and I told Monique 3 words: book the flight. So last night, I took the lovely Monique to the game, and we were watching this performance by Luke Weaver, and then seeing Tyler Lyons looking good, thinking, I wonder if you move that guy to the 9th inning. He's just unstoppable. And wondering if it's going to be Jack Flaherty on Saturday, the guy who's been so magical at Memphis. Then all of a sudden, you could be trotting out pitchers who actually give you a chance to win a game. And maybe very soon, you could have a guy in the 9th inning named Tyler Lyons who has been unhittable. I mean, unhittable. So I'm wondering, I don't know. I mean, for a stretch last night, I felt like Al Pacino in the movie Godfather 3.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like Jim Carrey in another movie? You're telling me there's a chance? Or there's no way in hell? In fact, on the text lines today, 855-282-8255, 855-282-8255, we're going to go with this. You can text anything you want afterwards, but I just want this. There's a chance or no way in hell. There's a chance or no way in hell. All right, so yesterday, let's go to lap 4. Lap 4. Gateway Motorsports Park opening monologue. So yesterday, I spent part of the afternoon with Mark McGwire. First of all, could not have been nicer or more thoughtful. And with the exception of, that stretch in 98 where he was stressed out of his mind, he's never been an evil guy. He just, wasn't unbelievably soundbite-ish at that time. But I'll tell you what, folks, there's a lot to admire about him now. There really is. First of all, on a physical point of view, he's at his exact playing weight. Now, he said he has officially stopped swinging the bat. Right knee needs to be replaced. Never hurt the knee one time. All that time of standing and all that stress at the plate has taken a toll. You know what he's most proud of? Home run frequency. Every 10 at-bats. Best in history. Better than Babe Ruth. Every 10 times Mark McGwire came to the plate, he hit one. And it started really young. I mean, I wonder if you looked at his home run frequency when he was just starting playing baseball at 10, it was probably a lot higher than that. He was hitting home runs in Little League and high school, college, rookie year. Then in 2003, 2004, it happened. And this is why I bring up Mark McGwire in lap 4. He played 74 games. 74 combined games in 2003 and 2004. Could not get healthy. So his brother, who was a bodybuilder, he actually wrote a book about it, said, I can get you healthy. I can get you back doing what you do best, what you love most, with performance-enhancing drugs. Now, as it's been said before, they were not banned. Okay? Major League Baseball had no rules. It was something that Mark McGwire took to help him get on the field to play the sport he loves. He did it. He said if they were banned, he wouldn't have done it. Now, I'm not rationalizing any of this. I'm telling you how he saw it. And that's why he did it. He wanted to play baseball again. So he took some pills. Or did some other things to get back playing baseball. So this weekend, he will get his Hall of Fame. Family from everywhere from California to Southern Illinois coming in. His father can't travel anymore. They're taping the event for him, and Mark will hand the DVD to his dad. It's emotional for Mark McGwire. This is likely his only baseball Hall of Fame. I know he's not perfect, but I wouldn't want to be judged by my mistakes either. All I know is on Saturday, when Mark McGwire's inducted, it's going to be a powerful moment for him and his family. Lap 5. Gateway Motorsports Park, opening monologue. Colin Kaepernick getting support. The NAACP now supporting Colin Kaepernick. Hank Aaron coming out and saying Colin Kaepernick deserves a chance. 1,000 people rallied outside of the NFL headquarters on his behalf. So all it takes now is one owner. And believe me, it's not about the coach. It's not about the GM. It goes way above their respective pay grades. Does an owner want to take the chance of alienating a percentage of his fan base for a quarterback who could be in his prime and who's coming off a productive season? Now, let me just say this. If Colin Kaepernick had Cam Newton or Aaron Rodgers' ability and statistics, this wouldn't be an issue. But on the other hand, you could say there's a lot of mediocre quarterbacks in the league drawing paychecks. He's better than some of them. Maybe better than a lot of them. I don't know if he's a starter. But here's the thing. Let's look at the cold, hard facts. Miami had an opening. They said no. Baltimore had a need. They said no. Seattle kicked the tires. They said no. Keep in mind, a lot of these guys are progressive, free-thinking coaches whose sole existence is about winning football games. That Seattle thing is really interesting because Pete Carroll does seem like the compassionate guy who would do anything to win football games and also to help people. He's kind of a cool guy. And you'd like to think that Colin Kaepernick could really adjust to, that Russell Wilson offense. I mean, he'd be perfect for that. If he doesn't take him, who is? Thoughts? Come on aboard. All right, lap 6. Rich Hill became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to lose a no-hitter on a walk-off. Josh Harrison did it. Think about this, too. Think about these 3 lines. Perfect through 8, no-hitter through 9, and loses the game in the 10th. The fight on Saturday, although Brian's not excited about it, I'm getting excited about it, actually. Do you know that Floyd Mayweather has not lost a fight since the Olympics I covered in 1996 in Atlanta? I was at some of those boxing matches, too. I don't know if I remember him losing. That's a long way between losses, isn't it? A long time between losses. He had that controversial win, I remember, against Jose Luis Castillo in the early 2000s, where he probably shouldn't have won. Bottom line is 49-0. This Conor McGregor is an interesting character. I heard Jay talking about him, and he is fun. Have you heard about Conor McGregor's clothing allowance? Have you heard about this, Brian? Okay, listen to this. He spends, this is no joke, he spends about $1 million a year on clothing. He spends $5,500 on suits. Those are some expensive Briones. He spends $500 to $900 on ties. Ties! He orders them from a guy named David August Heel. So the other day, my news director called me into her office, And she said Tegna, which is Gannett, has hired a personal stylist. And she is going shopping with you on this certain date. So I said, wow, that is great. How much can I spend? And she said, well, no, you're actually paying for it. She's just picking things out. I said, wait a minute. I'm okay on that, okay? I don't need, I thought, wow, for the first time in 30 years in TV, I'm getting a freaking clothing allowance. No. You're paying for it. She's just picking it out. So I think I'm going to pass. Okay. Finally, we hear the negative about NFL stories. Everything out of the NFL is negative, and justifiably so. It's a terrible league. But I got a good one. Did you hear the story of the former Pro Bowler Neil Smith? Had a great career, mainly with the Chiefs, with the Broncos too. He rescued a pregnant woman from severe floodwaters in Lee Summit. Heavy rains flooded the roads as parents were picking up kids at school. This pregnant woman had her car stalled. Smith is sick. He trudged through the waters and removed this woman from her minivan and helped her get out alive. This woman was 9 months pregnant. So in a sense, Neil Smith didn't save one life yesterday. He saved 2. All right, those are some of my thoughts in sports and life in general. Let's hear yours. I want everybody saying a chance in hell. Or no, there is a chance or there's no chance in hell. Give me your thoughts on that on the text lines. Luke Weaver, why did it take so long? Big Mac, do you understand why he did it? Kaepernick, will he play this season? When we come back, we're going to talk with a guy who knows Conor McGregor quite well. We'll talk about the big fight. Kenny Rice, NBC Sports.